Welcome back to TLT Talks. I'm coming to you live from the beautiful, look how gorgeous that is, Williamsburg waterfront, my home office for the day. It's been fun hanging here. Live Back team, hello, way to join us. We've got a very exciting show for you today, folks. One of my favorite people on the planet will be joining us. Danny, what's going on, my man Alex? Here she is. I get on immediately. And 3, 2, 1. There she is.
Hello.
Hello, Milena, my love. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I got to be honest. It's kind of zen out here. I was just telling our folks, look at this. It's kind of hard to be stressed with that.
So I see that you have views, but I too have views. Let's see if you can see.
Oh, snap. There it is.
There we go.
Are we at Riverside?
We're at Riverside.
Oh, very nice choice for the show. Well, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Max, how's it going? Bigomatic, how's it going? Here we go. So today, I wanted to shift gears a little bit. For the last couple of shows and emails and all the content we've been putting out, it's been mostly focused and geared towards sellers. It is absolutely a seller's market right now, and we've been really focused in making sure that our sellers are armed with what they need to be armed with in order to navigate this market. But we haven't forgot our buyers. It's not that we forgot our buyers. We are working with dozens of buyers, helping them navigate this very difficult seller's market as well. Inventory is down, demand is way up. And so I thought it'd be prudent to share, have a chat with Milena and share with all you guys some of the best practices we're seeing, some of the best trends of what buyers should be prepared with, looking out for in this market. So I typically like to open up when I introduce someone with a little bit about their specialty. But with our current guest, I don't even know where to begin. She's gorgeous, absolutely stunning. For anyone that knows her, an incredible personality and humor, very hard to be in a bad mood around her. Totally always down to do whatever it takes to see the outcome through. Always super helpful, and as if all of that wasn't enough, she's kind of good at real estate too. Represents real estate listings from low to high. Most brokers never really make it into the luxury sector in their entire careers. It's maybe like 1% of brokers that make their way into luxury career. Milena does represent a decent amount of luxury rentals and sales. So, Ms. Salter, you successfully worked with a multitude of buyers to get them into contract, help them navigate this process. I thought you'd be a great resource for our viewers to help.
Thank you.
And thank you.
I'm excited.
And thank you. So, you've been on the show before. We like to start with a fun fact. It's been a while. Tell us something fun.
Something fun. I love mermaids and mugs, and I collect mugs, Disney mugs, superhero mugs. So, if you have any fun mugs, send them my way. Send me a photo because I love them, and anything mermaid themed and related, I'll take that too. So not the usual stuff, but
you're trying to get divorced. You're just trying. I know Milena's husband very well. He's a dear friend, and I know for a fact that the mug collection is a constant source of drama in this household.
It's true.
Very cool. Danny says he can tell us something fun. Trevor, Carissa, Jed, hello, folks. So let's jump right in, Milena. Let's jump right in. It's a crazy seller's market. It's difficult to be a buyer today. Buyers, with all due respect, for like a couple years now, you've had it easy. You especially over the last 12 months prior to like January, you had it real easy, low ball offers, 20% below ask. What comes around goes around, so to speak. And so now the pendulum has certainly swung. Milena, for a buyer out there in the market today, for some of the success stories you've had, can you give us some tips? What are you finding is really important to be able to find success as a buyer?
Absolutely. It's funny because, as you said, I work with buyers, I work on sales, and I work on rentals. And as far as buyers and as far as rentals, it's not different. I know, every other TLT talks I've been on, I'm like, be prepared, be prepared, be prepared. But it's the same thing. Be prepared. Whether, you're getting a mortgage or whether you are purchasing all cash, it's the same, it's different, but it's the same, right? So you want to have a pre-approval, you want to have your bank statement ready to go. You want to put yourself in the shoes of the seller, right? It's a hot market out there. So when you're presenting an offer and you're not wasting time and you're ready to go, that already puts you ahead of a ton of other people that only start thinking about this process once they find the home that they want to bid on, right? So believe it or not, that little step is such a big deal, but it's that 1% that may actually get you to win, quote unquote, the property.
Yeah, for sure. I couldn't agree more. So let me memorialize and fine tune a bit. So for the buyers out there, just understand, when you are looking at a property, you're competing right now. Even if there's not a multiple bid situation, the sellers are being very careful because number one, a lot of properties aren't appraising. The prices have improved so quickly and so much that a lot of properties are having trouble appraising. And so sellers and sellers brokers are doing a lot to vet and make sure that the buyer they're going to go into contract with will actually see the transaction all the way through. So number one, if you are financing, a pre-approval letter, up to date. Don't bring a pre-approval letter that's like 6 months or a year old.
Correct.
It's not going to be considered. If you're buying cash, don't be overconfident. Don't say, well, I'm a cash buyer. Haha, cool. Have a bank statement ready showing proof of funds. Not from a year ago, from 30 days ago, right? Number two is a financial statement. Really, really important. Every single seller, whether it's a condo, it's a co-op, whatever it is, they're going to want to see a financial statement. It's not 5 minutes to put together a financial statement. You got to produce all of your bank statements, your holdings, your ROIs, your portfolio, all that stuff needs to be navigated. It takes a solid like 2 to 3 business days to put it all together. So as a package, you want to have your pre-approval letter or your bank statement showing proof of funds, whichever you are, financer or not. You want to have the financial statement and think about the seller and their psychology, as Milena has said. If I'm a seller and I get an offer and it's like, here's my offer, here's the pre-approval, here's the financial statement, I'm ready to go. In my mind, I'm like, oh, wow, this is a really serious buyer. Whereas if I get an offer and there's no supporting docs and then I ask and then they linger 2-3 days to produce supporting docs, I'm not feeling the warm and fuzzies about this buyer. And it leaves time for anybody else to just come in prepared. Like I could tell you in this scenario, buyer A comes in, makes an offer, doesn't have any of the stuff. Buyer B is working with Milena, the numbers being likely, or similar rather, I should say, Milena's buyer is probably winning. As a matter of fact, I'd even go one step further. If Milena's buyer is slightly less, 0.5%, 10, 15 grand less, but presented in the way that she knows how to present them versus someone else, chances are on $1 million or $2 million property where there's hundreds of thousands of dollars of equity, a seller will sooner forego 10, 15, 20 grand to be in a short transaction rather than not. Serena, how are you, my love? Sarah, hello. Love you both. Some of the power ladies of TLT and Compass. So very good. Sellers want a smooth transaction. Be prepared.
You know what else
Yes,
I actually want to
please.
say, especially in the situation of COVID, right? I think everybody's heard of it. At this point, everybody wants certainty. There's been so much uncertainty within this past year that exactly like you said, Eugene, even if you're a little bit below, but everything is presented smooth, everything is presented clean. There are no questions as to whether or not this buyer is going to move forward, as to whether or not this is actually going to close. That makes such a big difference because sellers want certainty as much as buyers want certainty, as much as everyone in the world wants certainty.
That's
right? So the psychology and the feeling around a transaction, everyone needs to feel good and everyone needs to feel like they're winning. And by the way, when there's a broker on the other side and they're dealing with another broker that has no idea what they're doing, everything is messy, it's taking a few days to answer, that broker is going to tell their seller, okay, well, you have option A, which is a little bit meh, right? Or you have option B, they presented everything immediately. Their response time is super quick. They presented all the documents. I feel good going with this one versus maybe that one, which is a little bit higher.
Yeah, super well said. Super well said. Because the prices are up so much, the sellers can afford to be a little bit picky. And I totally agree with you. I think sellers will sooner side with the decision of certainty, proper, like an assuredness that this deal gets done. I think
and look, that even happened to us. We had a listing. We were representing the sales side. We had an offer that was over second offer, right?
Yeah.
But they were wishy-washy, they were back and
That's
forth.
right.
And,
Amen.
you know, my recommendation was, look, you can take the money and maybe it goes through, maybe it doesn't, or you could take a little bit less. We have a solid buyer. We have all their paperwork, and I have no doubt, except for 1%, which I'm always going to leave, no doubt that this
Yeah.
is going to go through. And that's what the seller chose to
Yeah.
do.
That's right. That's right. And I'm gonna share with you guys a secret. That it's a foolproof method of improving your chances of successfully buying a home. Okay, you guys ready for this? Don't try to do it yourself. Don't try to do it yourself. We've tried to beat this point home to death on the show. Have your team, mortgage broker, real estate broker, real estate attorney, have your team. If you were having a medical crisis, you wouldn't just go on WebMD. Don't talk to me about Zillow and StreetEasy. Have your team in place. The broker costs you nothing to work with.
That's what I was just going to say.
To this point, the fact that buyers are trying to do this on their own and their reason is, well, I have StreetEasy, for the love of Christ. Please save yourself from what Keith Cunningham, my business coach, calls the dumb tax in trying to do this on your own in such an insane market. Anyways, let's move on because I can stay in this topic all day long.
Yes, but again, it does not cost you anything. You would not go to court using the other side's attorney. Right. There's no reason when it's free for you to do this on your own.
That's right.
Thank you,
Amen.
Debbie. Love you.
Debbie goes Team Millie. I agree. Team Millie. Whoop, whoop. All right. So, you know, let's say John Smith is our buyer. And John Smith, Milena, he's heard you. He's put together his docs. He is pristine, buttoned up. You've walked into a property. He's ready to make an offer. Now is where the real fun starts, right? Finding the property is not really even the difficult task anymore. The difficult task today, the real challenge is A, winning it over other people and finding a meeting of the minds, and then seeing it all the way through with the myriad of complications that could arise from contract signing to closing. But let's talk about writing an offer. So now John Smith's ready to write an offer. How do you help navigate over ask, under ask? What do you do? Yada, yada. Talk to us about your process and what you have found to be successful. Serena says agents are needed for renting a new apartment. Yeah, amen.
Yes,
amen, Serena. Thank
preach.
you.
Sorry for.
All right, so you're ready to write an offer.
So
how are some of the successful ways you advise your buyers?
So what I want to say is, in an easy quote unquote market, you know, you're looking at comps and things like that. We're in a different battlefield right now is what I would say. Currently, comps in the market, you have to kind of eliminate them, right? Because the market is backed up about 3 to 6 months. So we don't actually see where things are trading, where things are closing. The asking price is irrelevant. The active pricing and the active listings do not matter. People that are placing properties, you know, above ask, they're thinking, okay, well, we're in a seller's market. Let me see what I could get. There's room for negotiation. People that are pricing under, they're hoping for a bidding war. And even people pricing at current market rate are also hoping for a bidding war, right? Because we, again, are in a seller's market. Inventory is down. The only thing that actually matters and what you should look at, aside from your gut feeling of how badly you want this place, and I'll get to that after, is signed contracts, right? Not only are signed contracts important because you know where the market is at today. It doesn't matter where it was yesterday. It doesn't matter where it was a month ago. Today is what's important. And I can't stress enough, relationships. We have several agents, so I always know what's going on in the market. And am I back?
You're good.
Am I back?
You're back.
There we go. Sorry. We have several agents on the team. Everybody's working at a myriad of locations, condos, co-ops, whatever the case is. So we always update each other on what's going on, and having relationships to call brokers. So whenever I have a buyer that's interested and they're like, okay, let's do it, let's bid. Perfect. Well, now I'm calling all the brokers in the area. I'm calling everyone with active listings in the area, in the building. Where are you? How's the traffic? Where are you in contract? And I'm getting the scoop. How many offers are you getting? These are things that you will not see online. These are also things that not every agent is going to disclose to every agent. That's why relationships are so important. And to be honest, people don't even think about that piece of the puzzle, in my opinion, right? I feel like a lot of agents see something and they submit an offer. We never do that, right? From day one, you even call the listing agent and you're like, hey, my buyer is interested, and you try to pull information from them. Are there other offers? Are we competing? What is actually going on with this listing? Is this a real seller, right? So all those pieces give you the whole picture.
Yeah, it's really well said. Ksenia, Milena, your husband finally decided to show up. Dimitri, you're in the doghouse, bro. 15 minutes into her live, you waltz in here like nothing happened. No, my bad, honey. I'm calling you out, Dimitri.
I'm not gonna say I noted it, but I'm also not gonna say I didn't notice. So we'll see what happens there.
Oh, Ksenia, Greggy, what's up, man? Yeah, so well said. So well said. Does anybody know? If you know, just type it into the chat, into the comment box. What is the most expensive commodity currently? Does anybody know? I'll give this like 10 seconds before I give the answer. What is the most expensive commodity in today's marketplace? Anybody? It's data. Or as my friend Michael Rima likes to say, data. Data. How does he say it? Data. I can't even say it, the Aussie.
Data.
So data. Yeah. Gas.
That's true.
So it's data, right? And the reality is that if you're working with a broker and when it's time to make an offer, they're quoting you closed comms, fire them immediately. It clearly shows that they have no idea what they're talking about. So I think Milena hit the nail right on the head, right? The number one most important thing is to get the data. And where the data is the most recent or relative is signed contracts. It's the only information that really matters. And as far as the asking prices or listings that are live, is to get on the phone with those brokers too, just to find out, do you have offers? Do you have traffic? What's going on? Because very oftentimes a property will actually have accepted offers or even being contract already and still show live online, right? It's again why Street Easy is a good starting place, but not where you want to end up. The other thing is this, psychologically, for all the buyers out there, right, or for the brokers out there that are helping their buyers navigate, it's imperative to eliminate this friction or waiting on asking price. The asking price is completely irrelevant. The only thing that matters is where the property is trading. Example, if a property is worth $1.8 million, let's just say, and I put it online, or let's stick with our John Smith buyer analogy. John Smith and myself and Milena are working to help them find a home. And there's a property that's worth $1.8 million. And I show it to John Smith. We show it to John Smith at $2 million and say, hey, John, we think we get you a $200,000 reduction. And we get it down to 1.8. John Smith is ready to name his next kid after us, right? But if we show that same exact property to John Smith and the asking price is 1.6, and we say, John Smith, in order to achieve this property, you have to bid 1.8, very likely John Smith thinks we just want to get a deal done, we're not protecting their interests, yada, yada, because of this like over-ask notion. The asking price in today's market is completely irrelevant. The reality is that the majority of the brokerage community has never dealt with a market like this, is ill-equipped to price property correctly based on this market. I've been doing this for 15 years. This is my third cycle of this, right? And so we've been here before. We know what's happening. But it's really important to coach buyers away from this notion of asking price. The only thing that matters is what's the actual value of the property. And if you find yourself in a bidding war situation, what you don't want to do, let's use this example. It's 1.8. Let's say the asking price in this scenario is 1.8, let's say, and the real value of the property is like 2 million. Don't come in at the asking price. Come in right away, 150 grand over ask with a deadline. You have 3 days, yada, yada. But be really aggressive on the front end, because if you come in with the ask first, let's try it here, let's see what happens, a lot of offers get collected, and then you end up losing it out. So case in point, about a year and a half ago, we had a similar situation, and it was a townhouse in Harlem that the asking price was 1.8 million. And we came in and we did our homework, and we saw that a similar comp traded for 2.15. So based on where the market was, we put its value at like 2,050,000. We said to our buyer, look, I'm telling you, this thing is like 350 grand underpriced. Come in at $2 million, come in at 200 grand over the ask, but 3-day deadline. You got 3 days or else yada, yada. We did it. We won the bidding war. 2 days after we signed contracts, the broker came back to us and said, I have to tell you, you did a really great job. I've never experienced that type of pressure from the buy side. Our best offer was 2.2, but it was too late because you guys were already in contract. So be first. Massive tip. Be first. Don't get stuck in the asking price. If the property makes sense for you. If it doesn't, then don't get caught up in bidding war, right? But like if you love the property, have a broker that really understands the market and the values, and don't let asking price get stuck. So Milena, thank you. Some really good tips. I want to move on to the luxury market. So as I mentioned in the beginning, 98% of brokers spend their entire career and never get to engage the luxury market, right? Luxury market being essentially $10,000 and up for rent and $4 million and up for sale, I'd say 98% of the brokerage community, being someone that gets licensed at one point or another, they never get to achieve, working with people in that sector. You have, and you've done so. You're not just playing the game, you're crushing the game, right? You got rental and sale listings in those price points. You're working with buyers and renters in those price points. So there's been a lot of talk about the luxury market has rebounded. I just, love some of your thoughts on what you're seeing.
Yeah, the luxury market has definitely rebounded. I think it's definitely a mix of, people feeling more certainty and people wanting to get back to real life, right? So we're seeing that everywhere. We're seeing that at restaurants. We're seeing that, with people feeling more comfortable with the vaccine, whatever the case is. So people are ready. New York City is as hot as it ever was, if not hotter, and everyone was like, oh, New York is dead. And I was like, no, New York will never be dead, and I was right. As always. But anyway, yes, a ton of luxury right now. Luxury is seeing its best years that it's seen in a very long time. Actually, at the Amberley 120 Nassau Street, we're gonna have a $13,000 3-bedroom with outdoor space coming up. Right now, I am at 50 Riverside, $8 million apartment for sale and rent. So luxury is getting a ton of traffic. I am telling you that because I am in it. Besides the fact that you can read up on it, the real deal, it's everywhere. We're seeing it everywhere. And having properties listed and not having traffic is one thing, but I'm getting the traffic, I'm getting the calls, and people are looking and people are browsing and people are just ready to make the move when they find whatever it is that they're looking for.
Yeah, really well said. And townhouse sales too. Commercial sales are back.
Yes.
We're in contract with one of our agents, or go into contract with one of our agents on some building sales. People, we're back. I mean, it's back, and it's back with a vengeance. And again, like, I've said it before, based on this current administration and what wants to be done, this is not a political statement, but there's talk of raising taxes, eliminating 1031s, like all the things that drive this market. There's talks of eliminating these things. So you would think the market would slow down, but instead it is on fire. So yeah, Milena, thank you so much for your wisdom, for your time. Milena, for those that may not know, is a true member of the TLT family, not just at work, but in my household as well. She's fam. So any final thoughts? I hope everyone that's watching this, or that will watch this once we send it to our reblast, will find this really valuable, especially for the buyers out there. Man, like, save this video or rewatch it. Please listen to us. Don't do this on your own. Be prepared. And if you're not working with someone that knows, and when I say knows how to navigate this market, I mean they've done it. They've been here in 2012, 13. They've been here in 17. Like, they've been in this market before, because anyone right now operating in theoretical, not in pragmatic experience, the cost is you'll miss out on property, or you'll overpay, underpay, whatever it is. Any final thoughts? Anything you want to close our show with? Any more wisdom nuggets?
Yeah, I think, I want to bring it back to psychology. I know we talk a lot about psychology internally on the team. And again, kind of wrapping everything up with COVID, there was a period of time where everybody got really, back into their feelings. And then I feel like people started forgetting about it. I think that perspective is really, really important. Being in a situation to be able to afford a home, right? That makes you low percentage. I'm frozen. Can you hear me? Can you see me? Do you hear me? Do you see me?
Somebody from Instagram. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Somebody from Instagram just called me. It's so weird. Like, we're in the middle of a show, man.
Oh my God, don't they know we're live? Who is it?
What the hell?
Who is it?
We're in the middle of a show. I don't know. And I have it on Do Not Disturb, so I thought that like shuts everybody out.
Exactly.
Apparently not.
Do you see?
Apparently not.
But just know we're going to find you after this.
All right, I'm so sorry. Psychology, COVID in your feelings for a bit.
Yeah, going back into your feelings, psychology is really important. If you're able to purchase a home and you're looking and you happen to get outbid, or you happen to miss out on something, just remember you are in the low percentage of the population that, can even afford to own a home, right? So if you're bidding and you don't get it, it's a really, really good problem to have. Stay out of stress, stay out of anxiety. You're shopping. Shopping is fun. And most likely you're shopping for the biggest purchase in your life, right? So it should be a fun process. You should not feel stress. You should not feel duress. That's also why you call me, because I handle the stress and duress. I don't know if anyone's ever seen my face, but it can get scary if I needed to. But It should feel great. You should be in high spirits. You should be in high energy. And I know it sounds cliche, and I am not about the cliche if you actually know me, but I promise everything does happen for a reason. I've been in situations, I can't tell you how many times, where we got outbid and the buyers were distraught. And I said, I promise you, I promise everything happens for a reason. We're going to find you a property. And then we find another property and they look back and they're like, you know what? That was a blessing. And now they love their new property so much they can't imagine living anywhere else. So I know in the moments it's like, oh my God, you're just saying it to make me feel better. But I promise, just let's get past that little point, and at the end, you'll be happy. I know it. I just know it.
Wow, so well said. Milena, has been my pleasure. Milena and I started working together about 5 years ago. She knew nothing about real estate, and look at you now, man. A true success story. Anyone that gets the opportunity to work with you should consider themselves they should be paying you a commission, man. Should be very, very lucky.
Thank you.
Normally when we do these shows, I look for my opportunities to like add value in between our guests, but on that last one, I got nothing. I actually wear this on my wrist always to remind myself, like to just remind myself, man, just walk in gratitude. So I got nothing. That was perfectly said, man. Just remember like how grateful you should be that you have this problem. This is a problem that the majority of the world wishes they had. You know, people look at you with envy, you know, if you're looking to buy a home, you know, and so like, so well said. I think people need to hear that. Milena, my love, wonderful spending some time with you today.
You too. And I'm just you keep showing your view, and it's just like,
awesome.
You know,
awesome.
I have to compete a little bit too, everybody. So,
Woo.
you know.
All right. I'm calling an Uber. I'm on my way.
Guys, thank you so much to everyone for joining. I love you. If you have any questions, obviously reach out anytime. And like I said, mugs, mermaids, Disney, Marvel.
Dimitri, I'm in. Actually, I'm not in. 36 more days. Milena can tell you about it. 75 hard for those of you that might know. Anyways, everyone have a great day. Have a great weekend.
Bye, guys.
Be well, guys.